Now for today's episode of Can I Beat the Retro Pole Time, I am going to self-indulge a little bit and do a lap I've been wanting to do for quite some time. Now we go back to 2008, the final French Grand Prix held at the Circuit Nevers-Magny-Cours, which I absolutely love. One of my all-time favourite F1 circuits. Realistically, we're never going to see it return, I don't think, because of, location, funding, money, spectator turnout, and also just the track itself doesn't really suit F1 cars of the current era. But for this one, we're going to try it and beat Kimi Räikkönen. He was the last man to set a pole time here, a 1 minute 16.449. Now, one thing to note, of course, is the race fuel. Kimi boxed in the end of lap 20 in the race, so we'll have to factor that in terms of our car setup when we do eventually set our best time. So with that out of the way, we're also using the latest update to the F1 2008 mod, which I covered on the channel but has come a long way since the video I made, I think now over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago now. So we're going to jump into it and see how we get on. The car is currently with default setup, so we'll find out how that translates. Now though, at the last corner, we're going to get underway and get stuck in. So here we go. Turn 1, easy flat. Don't know if that's technically turn 2. Now into, I'm going to say turn 3. These cars had no traction control. It was the first year they banned it after many years of having it in 07 and before. So a bit of an adjustment. Going to aim for the 100-meter board here at the hairpin. Down to first. The car didn't really like that. Gearbox a little bit too short. Of course, no curves, no DRS, no ERS as we now go into the chicane. Here we go. Going to take a cautious 6th gear lift for now, but we'll try and hopefully ramp it up as we go along. Through the hairpin. Back on the gas. Bit of oversteer on the way out as we struggle for traction into the second chicane. Camber, absolutely insane. Had to wait a little bit on the way out. Through the right hairpin. Again, as we now head towards a left kink into another right hairpin. The penultimate corner technically. Not officially, of course we've got a chicane to go, 2 corners, but I consider this one motion. Over the last chicane, over the curves, over the line, which is a bit further down. And it's a 1:18.0. Now that is a banker. Not too bad, 1.6 seconds off, but of course we may already have less fuel than what Kimi did because, as I mentioned, it's a default setup, so let's find out. Now we still don't have fuel data, so that tells me we need one more lap, and I also think 42 litres is too low. I think we're going to have to run more, so instinctively I'm going to up it to 50 litres. I think even that's going to be too low, but we'll leave it at that for the second run. I'm also going to rock the soft tyres for this one, so we're going to go a step softer. Gearbox, we're going to bring this down to the lowest, so there we go, 308 top speed. We may adjust some other gears afterwards. I'm going to bring this first gear up a little bit because that was very short, and then we're going to basically tweak a few other things. So the aero, I'm going to go up by 2 on everything because it's quite an aero heavy circuit, I'd say, and then we're going to just move the brake bias back by a click as well. Elsewhere, ride heights, we are going to just bring the front down a little bit here from 250 to 200, and the rear will stay default for now as it's on 0, so let's see how this goes. I can already tell the car feels very quick with these adjustments. You can tell the soft tyres are going to be rapid and they're going to work well, taking that step from mediums to softs. The white band in the middle of the grooves signalling that we are on the soft compound tyre. This should be fun. So here we go, through the last chicane, beginning the lap. Car still feels very nervous, but should be good to go. A little bit of a frame drop there as we head through the first corner. Stay tight through turn 3 and then open it up on the exit. Use that exit curb and lean on that all the way through. 410 up as we head down towards the hairpin. We hit the limiter pretty much. Spot the 100. Bit of front lock in there. Nicely managed on the braking, but the exit isn't there. Second gear working better. We might already get close to beating the pole lap on this one. A bit deep though, through the hairpin there. Had to give up a bit of time. We do recover a little bit on the exit. Not getting the snap this time under traction. Now for the second chicane. Oh, bit of rear lock in there. The back end is fighting me the whole way through. A little bit of a short shift to third gear to try and fight the traction. Oh, out of shape with the braking again. Losing a bit of time that might just cost us. Last chicane, over the curbs. This is going to be close, over the line. And it's a 4.77. I think we... Have I already beaten it? I need to check. I can't remember the last two digits. Oh my god. Now the pole time from Kimi was a 4.49. So we haven't beaten it. And not just that. Our fuel has now been updated. I'm essentially running half of what Kimi ran. So... that's why we got so close so soon. So we're going to have to up the fuel, and considerably at that. We're going to have to go probably near to 90 plus litres here. I'm going to go for 21 laps, so 91 litres of fuel. Now that's a significant adjustment. So because of that, we're going to have to compensate. I'm going to put a bit more wing on the front and the rear. I'm also going to keep the brake bias the same for now, but we are going to make a few adjustments elsewhere. Starting out with the roll bar on the rear, we're going to soften up a little bit. We're going to bring the rear ride height down by a click, and I'm also going to just drop the front by 2 more clicks, a little bit more, up the wheel rate for sharpness on the front, and we're going to see how this feels with the extra fuel. Now granted, we haven't gone flat out yet to the absolute limit, but now we're going to have to if we want to go fast with essentially double the fuel. So let's get into it. A bit more wing to compensate for the extra weight. To still have a relatively agile car. It just means we're going to be a bit slow on the straight, but now we're going to start driving it fast and driving it serious. So here we go, underway for our third attempt. Trying to also trust the downfalls, trust the car, back end, front end, everything to try and find the time. Our Delta is going to be, you know, not broken, but it's going to be the faster one for the rest of the video unless we beat it. So there is that, as well as we brake at the 100, but the car did not want to stop. We do get a better exit though, so that wasn't the worst thing in the world. Can we commit through the chicane? Here we go. Not bad, bit of a lift. I reckon it is flat, but I've got to get just full confidence that I can get the line right. Struggling there through the hairpin with the heavier fuel tank, feeling the understeer and low speed. I was quick. Up and over. Much tidier into that right-hander. Garage vert. No big time gain, but we're not a million miles away, but I'm really hustling the car around now. We lost a bit of time here last time. We run in a little bit deep. Bonk over the curbs. Last chicane. Not bad. That's a decent effort. 16.7. That's very good considering the fuel we are carrying. Purple third sector. Granted, we're technically on the lowest fuel possible, so any time we gain now, that was a very committed lap, is going to be in the setup intricacies, so we're going to have to get creative. Now this is going to be the final setup for now. We'll go into more intricate tweaks, but I'll show you the final product at the end of the video. For now, as we head into the sweat session, this is going to be the final setup. So individual gears have been adjusted basically for this one. I've also lowered the pressures on all 4 tyres by a click because I feel like I've not struggled with tyre temp, so we can afford to go a bit more aggressive. Fuel, I've gone up a little bit because we had to readjust for the extra wing. Electronics, I've also upped the engine braking by 2 clicks. Aero, I've actually left the front the same, but I've dropped the rear by 1. I feel like I can be a bit more aggressive and take a bit more of a gamble with the loose back end. Alignment, I've gone quite aggressive on the front of the car with the toe and the camber. I've noticed my camber on the right side is a bit out of line, so we'll get that straightened up. The rear is a bit more conservative for stability purposes. Dampers and braking generic unchanged for now from the last run. Same for the heave dampers. Suspension, I've made the front roll bar a bit harder, a bit kind of firmer again. I've actually softened the rear. I've also just tweaked the wheel rates a little bit, so we'll see how this all works out. I am going to move my bias to 54.5. You can't do 0.5 adjustments in the setup menu, so let's get into it and let's try and put it all together. I'm confident in the setup, so let's get to work. Over the line, I've also changed the delta to my previous lap, so we'll see if that works to to what I previously did. Through the first couple of corners, car feels good. Delta isn't accurate, so we'll have to base ourselves off the mini sectors to find out if we're up or not. Sector 1 in the books. Oh, a bit of rear locking, but we make it work. We get the car rotated very nicely into the hairpin. I've got a delta on my wheel. I'm a 10th and a half down. I can see just below as well, so I know what I'm working with. I reckon that's going to be flat. I'm nearly there. Drifting on the rear end into the hairpin, but that worked out excellently. We gained a bit of time. Lost a little bit on the exit. Still a 10th and a half down. Now nearly 2 tenths down. Second chicane. Taking a downshift. Midway through. Oh, a little bit wide there. Ran in a bit hot. Ay. Damn it, that might cost us. Feels good though. Feels very good. I'll try again, fix the delta, and go for more. So for this one, I'm actually going to put the bias up to 55 and basically reset to standard value. I think that's going to work well for us. I'm liking more frontward bias now that we're making the car adjustments. Just kind of going back to square one. Right, let's do this. Let's try and get it on this one. Away we go. Delta reset to best lap, so we know what we're working with here. Oh, big snap there. Was not expecting that in fourth gear. That was a surprise. So I don't think we'll improve, but I want to see if I can shave off some time elsewhere. Through the hairpin. No rear drifting this time. And lost a little bit, so maybe a bit of a rear drift isn't the worst thing in the world. Let's see if I can go flat here. Yes, we can. And the lap didn't invalidate. No asterisk next to the delta, so we're all good. Using that curb on the exit as well, just trying to see how these things feel, to try and experiment a little bit with the track limits. That was also valid as well. Through garage vert, braking a little bit earlier. Trying to focus on the exit. That was decent. Gained a 10th. Bit of time here as well. Going with the more frontward bias. We're going to be able to push. What about the last chicane? Can we bounce over those curbs a bit more? Yes, we can. Okay, that was an excellent final sector. I reckon small tweaks and we'll be there. Oh, yes, we did it. Wow. Whew. Messed up the last couple of corners a little bit, though. I think there's a bit of time. I'm going to try again. I think there's a little bit more in that. But we're right on there, like pace-wise. We're right, like accuracy is on point. We're right there. Oh, damn. Wow. Whew. I think I can beat that. It was a scruffy lap. It's one of them scruffy ones where it doesn't look the prettiest, but it was really quick. I reckon I can do a more aesthetic lap, but it may not be as fast. That could be it. Oh no. Mate, that was such a good lap. I think a 15 might be possible if I put it all together. Wowza, that's an incredible final chicane. Small errors in the lap, 15's there. I think if I get a 15, we're calling it a day, because some laps I gain at some points and then I can't replicate it. There's time there. There is. 15 is possible. Damn it, man. I lost everything there. I'll take that. That's the best lap so far. Clean. That will do. Small errors. Hairpin. Had to have a little double stab at getting the car turned. But I've done cleaner lines and they haven't been quicker. It's a very unique corner. But yeah, generally a good lap. Very, very happy. Incredible track. Love it. So the final setup from that one, we have the gears on screen now. Feel free to copy and paste and use them to your wheel. Tyres, soft compound tyres with 16 PSI across the four. 95 litres, 21.6 laps in the end. Again, Kimi boxed end of lap 20, so give or take, you know, bit more fuel than I needed in the car, but, you know, it is what it is. Engine brake, 8 out of 13. Aero, 20 across the board. I ended up going down on the rear wing a bit, getting that kind of, you know, oversteer working, and it worked well for us. Alignment, I made the camber and the toe quite aggressive, going to the left side on the front. The rear was more conservative. Dampers, didn't have to change anything in the end. Brake bias, I actually went 56 and 98 brake pressure. I wanted to put it more on the front to kind of help the oversteer on the back end that we had with the wing offset. Then the heave dampers also didn't change anything. Suspension, copied the values on screen. Essentially stiff front, soft rear, trying to get that rotation. Ride heights, relatively low, but not too low that we're bottoming out or struggling with curbs. And then the rest is default. Well, there we go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave a like. Let's try and hit over 1,000 likes on this. It massively helps out in the algorithm. Also, down below, you're going to have my playlist linked. So go check it out, guys. We've done a lot of episodes, so there might be something in there you may enjoy. Subscribe for more content like this and comment down below what you want to see next. And also, as always, all the mods will be linked down there as well for the car, for the track, the visuals. Every mod that I use will be down there, so check it out. In the meantime, as always, a massive shout out to my channel members for supporting the content that I make. Also, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already, guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Take care, and let's goodbye from me. Ciao.